Good morning, friends. Hope you are having a good time. So let's start with the today's news. First, let us start with the good news. The good news is that Met Department has forecasted that this time the monsoon will be of around 103% of normal, whatever monsoon is there every time. So that is a good news because you also know that the inflation is skyrocketing, and one of the main reason is that even grain, wheat prices and everything, their prices are at a high level. So if this happens, and if really this happens, no, this will give a good push to the production of wheat and all other main cereals, and that will bring the inflation down. And of course, if the farmers get more money, it is good for the economy. So let's hope that whatever the Met Department is forecasting comes true. So now, before I go for no, just a small like, if you like my videos, do like it and subscribe to my channel because it motivates me to give you better content every day. So let's go to another news. Another news is that India's GDP is estimated to be grown by 8.7% in financial year 2022, and this is a slide of 4.1% that was in January to March quarter, that is quarter 4 financial year 22. Now the reason was the simple that because of COVID crisis and everything and so many factors were that the GDP has gone down, and 8.7% is on a lower side compared to earlier estimates which was around 8.9%. And next year it is forecasted that India may grow below actually maybe 6% also. The reason is simple that because of the high inflation, high crude oil prices, all this is affecting India in a big manner. Talking about oil prices, as we are talking about oil here, because of oil inflation is going up, oil is around currently around 122.5 dollar per barrel. Now that is a very much on a higher side. The reason was, as I told you yesterday, that European leaders had decided they are going to cut import from Russia by almost 90% by the end of the year financial year 2022. And because of this, the supply disruption, the oil prices are going up. Now, just understand, one of the third largest oil producer is Russia. Now, if that production goes away, then there is an issue for the market, correct? Because the supply suddenly will not come. No, it will take time to production to ramp up everywhere, even in the Middle East also. So that's why it will take time. But however, this is not that forever thing. Till the production meets the demand, the prices will be here because here the demand is surpassing the production part. That's why. And again, the main thing is no. There is a news that from last 10 days, Russia is selling oil to Asia at much more discounted rate. Now, see, understand if Europe is getting out from the basically they are not going to take import from Russia. Where Russia is going to sell? Russia is going to sell it to Asia, and China and India has totally told that of course we are going to buy it from Russia because that is in their economic interest. Like India already told that I should manage my fiscal deficit, and nothing wrong in that if I am getting a oil price at a discounted price. Correct. So currently, there is a news that currently Russia is selling at a $73 per barrel. Now that is almost more than 30% discount compared to the market price. So that is where India may get benefited, and India is actually increasing import from Russia. Now currently they are importing around 28 million dollar per barrel, 28 million barrel of oil. Now if the current Indian demand is around 5 to 6 million barrel per day, that means maybe more than 5 days, 6 is not, that is not a big import, but slowly and gradually they are saying that they are going to increase the import from Russia. So here where we can control inflation if we get a cheaper oil from Russia, and nothing wrong in that. So that is one part. And another, this Dow Jones, now talking about the global market, Dow Jones yesterday fall by 222 points, even Nasdaq by almost 50 points. The reason was that there was a Fed meeting along with Joe Biden. So Powell and Biden met, and they came to a conclusion. Yes, their main focus is to control inflation. And in order to control inflation, whatever steps need to be taken, they are going to take it. So here the market is fearing that yes, that the interest rate hike may be severe in coming months, and Fed may do everything. But yes, the silver lining is that retail inflation is going down slowly and gradually, because there now it is very price sensitive. If there is an increase in interest, and it suddenly it will affect inflation. Not in India case. In India, no, even the inflation is high, the demand will always remain. It is not the electricity. The problem is here, India always the demand is always on a higher side. It is not affected with the inflation, because here more luxury goods are not bought. Correct. Here the main basic materials and basic things are for the livelihood is being bought every day by the common people. However, in European countries or in US countries, no, their luxury products they buy, and because their per capita income is so high, so even a slight hike in the interest rate will affect their what you say consumption part, and that's why inflation goes drastically down even if there is a small hike in interest rate. So actually already Fed has increased 50 basis point, and that impact they can see in the inflation part. So, but however, of course, demand is on a higher side in US, but this is one of the part where US is always an advantage, that once they increase interest, inflation go down fast and they can control inflation in a big way. However, in India, that is not the case. Correct. Now, SGX Nifty is currently showing 24 points down the time I am recording this video. US yield again has inched up to 2.8%. Earlier it was around 2.74%. The reason was because of these high oil prices and all that inflationary condition also coming in the market is pushing the US yield higher side. Dollar index, of course, as I told you, it's around 101 around. Now, yesterday FI sold around 1004 crores. However, DI bought around 1845 crores. Only day before yesterday, there was one silver lining, that India FI was net buyer in last 1 month. But however, again yesterday changed, and again they are selling secondary market shares, and DI is buying. Now, talking about metal prices, metal stock again started to rise because China has started easing COVID that sanctions, and because now China is coming up, and that is also one of the factor why oil prices is going up, because China is now gradually coming out from the lockdown. Now that is to be seen in future. Again, Omicron cases come, whether they again lock down or not. But currently the thing is, China is slowly and gradually reducing lockdown restriction across the cities, and that is also now bringing the demand of oil. So there also the oil demand is coming up, and because of this energy stocks are again going up, because you also know that China is like, it's a elephant. It's a major what is the consumption of metal is happening in China. So if that economy comes up, no, suddenly there will be a rise in metal stocks and everything. I'm not talking about India. India, there is a different story, because in India, the steel prices, companies actually their export declined by 22%. One of the main reason was that, of course, the higher raw material costs and everything. Again, the export duty levied by the government, which was now levied. So there is a reduction of export in steel in India by almost 22%. Now talking about rentals, in major part of the city, in the country, the rental has increased by 10 to 20%. The reason is that now the COVID condition is now normal, correct? So now no more lockdowns is there and everything. Now suddenly all the factories, offices are running at a full capacity. Even schools are running at a full capacity. So there is an increase of around 10 to 20% rental across the commercial properties and residential properties. However, that is a good news, because at the end of the real estate sector is also one of the major contributor to our economy. So any rise in rentals will indirectly help the owners and the what you say, the plot owners, everything to sustain the expenses what they are having on their commercial properties. Now, Vodafone Idea news is there where the giant Amazon is going to invest around 20,000 crore in Amazon. Sorry, in Vodafone. So that's why the yesterday Vodafone Idea stock was up. And the main thing, however, Amazon told that this will be used in the growth area, not to reduce the current debt of Vodafone Idea. So they are telling that they are going to they want Vodafone to use this capital to growth sector, growth areas, and to expand their capacity and reach. So that is what. And ONGC has clarified that there is a no windfall fall tax will be levied by the government till now. There is no announcement regarding that. See, normally when the windfall tax is levied by the government, when they due to the rise of oil prices, suddenly there is a big profit pool created in the oil companies, correct? Because the oil, because their margins goes up. But and at that time, government may levy a windfall tax. But however, till now, government has not announced that they are going to levy any windfall tax to any of the oil companies. So that's a good news for ONGC, but you don't know what will happen because the way fiscal deficit is going on in India, no, it is creating an issue. Talking about fiscal deficit, no, the fiscal deficit for 22 has reached to 6.9%. Now 6.9% is actually higher than 6.7%, which was earlier estimated. Actually, in budget, the government told that they are going to have a fiscal deficit of 6.4%. So it is more than almost 50 basis point. But the reasons are there. The reason is because of the high oil prices already. Government has reduced export duty, sorry, the cess and everything, so that 1 lakh crore they are bearing. Even for the LPG, they are bearing around 5,000 odd crore. Correct. So all these are affecting their fiscal deficit part, and that's why it is a direct impact on the fiscal deficit. So, wow, if the government is really able to manage its fiscal deficit to this year, then they can do it only if there is a good collection in indirect taxes. What do you mean by indirect taxes? GST, income tax, and everything. There is a good collection, then of course they can cover up this fiscal deficit. However, economists think that this time the fiscal deficit will be much more compared to what they were estimating. The reason is inflationary condition has tied up the government hands and they have to do some expenditure in order to control inflation. So that is a point. Now talking about Mahindra is going to have a capital expenditure of around 15,300 crore in automobile, farm, in equipments and electric vehicles in finance between the financial year 22 to 24. Mahindra result was very good. They had a very good result and their profitability was good. Even the stock is doing well. Now they are pushing a lot in the EV sector area, and they are trying to come up with amp up the production in EV vehicles, and that's a good thing because EV is a future. So if after Tata Motors, if any company is there which is really serious about EVs, is Mahindra. Even TVS Motor is serious about it. However, Maruti is still slow, but hopefully they will also ramp up their production EV in coming years. Talking about sale, they are in discussion to import coking coal from Russia at a discounted price. As I told you earlier, that government has allowed all the companies and entities to import oil from outside also, because the problem is the current production in India is on a lower side. And because of this severe summer, the actually the demand of coal was quite high, and because of that, coal prices was on a very high level. No doubt, Coal India increased the production over these few quarters, but still they were not able to meet the demand side, and there was a power shortage across the India. So due to this, government told to all the entities they can import coal from outside, and Russia, you know that they are facing a big economic crisis there because of this geopolitical crisis, and they are ready to give everything at a discounted price provided any buyer come to them, because now the so many sanctions are levied on them that currently now even buyers are not coming. So if the sale has started discussion, they may get at a lower level, at a cheaper level coal from that. Even if you add the transportation cost to bring that coal in India, I think it will be on a cheaper side. So guys, this was all about today. Hope you like this news, top news every day. And if you like it, do subscribe to my channel and like button. And guys, I have created a fundamental course, that is thoughtful investor course, which will help you to understand all these terminologies and everything, and you can take a better decision to how to select a multi-bagger stock, because whole methodology is given in that. So if you want interested to attend that webinar also, I'm going to conduct weekly webinar. Mostly I'm conducting every 3 days, so you can click below link to check when the webinar is there, and you can attend that free webinar. So guys, thank you very much for attending. I see you soon tomorrow. Thank you.